All Guru Shri Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jeva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Yamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtaki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Prescribed Duties of for Mankind, Chapter 10, The Battle Between the Demigods and Badrasura. From text 1st to 11. Text 1. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, after instructing Indra in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the cause of cosmic manifestation, then and there disappeared from the presence of all-looking demigods. Text 2. O King Parikshit, following the Lord's instruction, the demigods approached Dadichi, the son of Atharva. He was very liberal, and when they begged him to give them his body, he at once partially agreed. However, just to hear religious instructions from them, he smiled and jokingly spoke as follows. Text 3. O elevated demigods, at the time of death, severe unbearable pain takes away the consciousness of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Don't you know about this pain? Text 4. In this material world, every living being entity is very much addicted to his material body, struggling to keep his body forever. Everyone tries to protect it by all means, even at the sacrifice of all possessions. Therefore, who would be prepared to deliver his body to anyone, even if it were demanded by Lord Vishnu? Text 5. The demigods reply, O exalted Brahmana, pious persons like you, whose activities are praiseworthy, are very kind and affectionate to the people in general. What can't such pious souls give for the benefit of others? They can give everything, including their bodies. Text 6. Those who are too self interested beg something from others, not knowing the of others' pain. But if the beggar knew the difficulty of the giver, he would not ask for anything. Similarly, he who is able to give charity does not know the beggar's difficulty, for otherwise he would not refuse to give the beggar anything he might want as charity. Text 7. The great says Dadiji said, just to hear from you about religious principles, I refuse to offer my body at your request. Now, although my body is extremely dear to me, I must give it up for you better purposes, since I know that it will leave me today or tomorrow. Text 8. O demigods, one who has no compassion for humanity in its suffering and does not sacrifice his impermanent body for the higher causes of religious principle or eternal glory is certainly pitied even by the immovable beings. Text 9. If one is unhappy to see the distress of others, living beings, and happy to see their happiness, his religious principles are appreciated as imperishable by exalted persons who are considered pious and benevolent. Text 10. This body, which is eatable by jackals and dogs after that, does not actually do any good for me, the spirit soul. It is usable only for the short time and may perish at any moment. The body and its possessions, its riches and relatives, must all be engaged for the benefit of others, or else they will be sources of tribulation and misery. Text 11. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, Dadiji Muni, the son of Atharva, thus resolved to give his body to the service of the demigods. He replaced himself, the super spirit soul, at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in this way gave up his gross material body made for five elements. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Shivanamati. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Vamsi, Prabhu, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Share my screen. I'll just start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So today we are going to see chapter 10, the first 10 verses. Just to give a recap of what happened until yesterday, that was summarized by His Grace Sundarananda Prabhuji. So during this pastime of the demigods losing power because they actually um, didn't respect their spiritual master, which actually caused their fall down. And they, because of their offense to their spiritual master, they lost all their opulence and everything. And they had to get everything back. So then they go all means to go and worship Vishwaroop and try to get their opulence back by Vishwaroop teaching them how to chant the Narayana Kavacha and everything else. And in this ninth chapter, what we saw was in the end, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself comes and He starts assuring the demigods that they don't have to worry because the demigods are ultimately also devotees. But our acharyas explained they are mixed devotees. Even though they are much more elevated than the human beings, because they have so much of facilities to also enjoy this world, they are devotees, but they also want to enjoy this world. So because of that fact, they do not have complete conviction on the chanting of the Narayana Kavacha. So the Supreme Lord Himself comes because Indra is a very exalted post. And Krishna Himself comes and He gives assurance to the Devatas, including Indra, that you have offered prayers to me, I am very pleased pleased with you. So then He gives different instructions. I'm not getting into the details, but on a summary, the Supreme Lord tells that only by pure devotion one can actually satisfy me, not by this mixed devotion where you are getting too much attached to material assets. See, when Krishna comes or his representative comes, they know when to be nice to us and when to chastise us. Because that is the role of Krishna and his representative, who's a pure devotee, who's Guru. And they will tell us, give us instructions to actually not get too much entangled in this material world. That is why Krishna tells those who thinks material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called kripanas. This Krishna also tells in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. They do not know the ultimate necessity of the soul. Moreover, if one avoids that which is desired by such fools, he must also be considered foolish. A pure devotee will never instruct a foolish person to engage in fruitive activities for material enjoyment, not to speak of helping in such activities. Such a devotee is like an experienced physician who never encourages a patient to eat food injurious to his health, even if the patient desires it. So, even if people of this world, whoever that may be, Krishna is telling that if they are too much entangled in this world, the pure devotee will not come and encourage them. Oh, okay, carry on with your sense gratification. We will see why in these verses, these every shloka or Acharya has explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He says that every shloka, every syllable of Srimad Bhagavatam is only trying to bring the conditioned soul to the platform of pure devotional service. Nothing else. So here Srila Sukadeva Goswami is telling that after instructing Indra and the Devatas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, the cause of cosmic manifestation, then and there disappeared from the presence of the onlooking demigods. Krishna will know when to appear and when to disappear. Prabhupada always says, Krishna appears by his own sweet mercy, his own sweet will. We cannot force Krishna to appear. Right? We are all chanting the holy names. So we cannot force Krishna to appear. O King Parikshit, following the Lord's instructions, the demigods approached Dadichi, the son of Atharva. He was very liberal, and when they begged him to give them his body, he at once partially agreed. However, just to hear religious instructions from them, he smiled and jokingly spoke as follows. So Dadichi knew, we will see the position of Dadichi because, see, Krishna, um, in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained, Vedaham samititani vartamani cha Arjuna, bhavishyami cha bhutani mam tu evana kashyana. Krishna says that he knows past, present and future, which we saw in the last chapter, in the last few verses. Krishna predicts everything that's going to happen in the future. That you go and ask these things to Dadichi, he will give up his body using his bones. Uh, you the Narayana Kavacha weapon will be prepared, and with that weapon, for sure, on my strength, Krishna says, on my strength, Vritrasura will be killed. And do not be scared of Vritrasura just because he's in a demoniac form. He is my devotee. He is non-envious. This is how Krishna finishes. He knows everything, what is going to happen. Oh, elevated demigods, at the time of death, severe, unbearable pain takes away the consciousness of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Don't you know about this pain? You're asking for my body, Dadiji is telling. See, when we approach a superior personality, the superior personality will not give whatever we want immediately. Something for us to ponder upon. When we are struggling in our spiritual life, we approach superiors, we approach our guru, or even Krishna for that matter. They will not give anything very easily to us. Test will be there. Without test, it is impossible to approach superior personalities or Vaishnavas or Krishna. They will really want to know how serious we are. We see this example even in Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. Even Dhruva Maharaj, he didn't want to be spiritually elevated. He wanted material wealth greater than his great grandfather. But Srila Narmuni tested him. Prabhupada writes in the purports. In this material world, every living entity is very much addicted to his material body, struggling to keep his body forever. Everyone tries to protect it by all means, even at the sacrifice of all his possessions. Therefore, who would be prepared to deliver his body to anyone, even if it were demanded by the Supreme Lord Vishnu? Body is so dear to all of us, right? We don't want to give up this body. Because of this too much attachment to this material body, we try to protect it by all means. See, Bhagavatam doesn't say that we don't have to protect our body. Basic, our Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada says we need to give basic attention to our body. We should not completely neglect. Srila Prabhupada, when he was on this planet, before he ended the Leela in this pastime, in this planet, at one point in time, he fell sick. And many of his sannyasi disciples actually called some doctors and asked to diagnose him. And the doctor diagnosed him and told, Oh, Swamiji, you are praying too much. These are the words. You are praying too much. You should also give attention to your body. Well, Prabhupada could have thought, well, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. Why do I need to care about my body? No. Srila Prabhupada, he really took that instruction coming from Krishna. Because Prabhupada knew that he had very few years left with him because he came to the West at the age of 70. But he wanted to give as much as possible before Krishna takes his life from this particular planet. So Prabhupada took that instruction so seriously that he started going for morning walks. That's where the morning walk started. When Srila Prabhupada every day in the morning, 6:30 or 7, wherever, whichever part of this world he is in, he takes his disciples for a walk. And even during walk, it will be only Krishna Katha, constant Krishna Katha going around him. Somebody will read Krishna book, somebody will talk about something or ask questions to Srila Prabhupada. So, protecting the body is necessary because if we don't protect our body, then we cannot practice bhakti. We will not have the strength to practice bhakti. But we should not go so much so that we are only protecting the body and forgetting our bhajan or Krishna consciousness. So there needs to be a balance. Once my spiritual master says, Krishna consciousness is always a balance. Krishna appeared in Ashtami, Janmashtami. Sri Radharani appeared in Ashtami, Radhashtami. And Ashtami appears in the middle of the cycle of the moon, the waxing and the waning of the moon. Why they had to appear in the middle? They are teaching us that our life also needs to be balanced. I can't be going Krishna, 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 Krishna because I'm not spiritually ready for that. And also I cannot be going Maya, 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 Maya always. So there needs to be a balance. And that comes by guidance, spiritual guidance. So here Dadiji is telling that his body is so dear. So he wants to hear from the Devatas what they are trying to tell. He's testing them. The demigods replied, O exalted Brahmana, pious persons like you whose activities are praiseworthy are very kind and affectionate to people in general. What can't such pious souls give for the benefit of others? They can give everything, including their bodies. Devatas are telling that they can give everything. Real pious people will not hesitate to give anything. Those who are too self-centered beg something from others, not knowing of others' pain. But if the beggar knew the difficulty of the giver, he would not ask for anything. Similarly, he who is able to give charity does not know the beggar's difficulty, for otherwise he would not refuse to give the beggar anything he might want as charity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is telling in this purport, one who gives charity and one who begs for it. Two kinds of people. The beggar should not ask charity from a person who is in difficulty. So we should be careful. Sometimes in the name of preaching, we should be watchful what we are doing. Similarly, one who is able to give charity should not deny a beggar. So if you are capable of giving, you should give. These are the moral instructions of Shastra. Chanakya Pandit says everything within this material world will be destroyed, and therefore one should use everything for good purposes. If one is advanced in knowledge, he must always be prepared to sacrifice anything for a better cause. Hmm. So, if we are trying to progress in bhakti, we should try to use whatever we have in the service of Guru and Krishna in whatever capacity we are able to. At the present moment, the entire world is in a dangerous position under the spell of godless civilization. The Krishna consciousness movement needs many exalted, learned persons who will sacrifice their lives to revive God consciousness throughout the world. So, this is what Srila Prabhupada's disciples are doing. They are exalted personalities. And what we have to do is simply assist them. We cannot imitate them, but we have to simply assist them. We therefore invite all men and women advanced in knowledge to join the Krishna consciousness movement and sacrifice their lives for the great cause of reviving God consciousness of human society. In whatever way we can, we have to contribute to the society. We cannot judge some devotee. Hey, this devotee is not doing this service, so I will not associate. No. Prabhupada was so happy to see even a tiny Jiva who's trying to contribute to the Krishna consciousness movement in whatever way we can. Because Krishna, he doesn't see what we are doing. Today is Pushpa Abhishek. My spiritual master says, it is very interesting. He was making this analogy that during Pushpa Abhishek, we are making all the petals from all the lotuses, the roses, and the pujaris are offering it to Radha Madhav, Nitai Gaur Sundar, and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra in the temple. But Krishna, does he really want these? Is he really looking for these petals? When Guru Maharaj, he was telling that Bhishma Dev in the battle of Kurukshetra, he was putting on thousands and thousands of arrows on Krishna. He was telling that for Krishna, those 1,000 arrows were like this 10,000 rose petals that we are going to offer today in the temple. So, what is exactly Krishna looking for? Krishna is looking only and only and only for our devotion. If that element is not there in all the activities that they are doing, Shrama evahi kevalam. It is of no use. Whatever we are doing, it may be even in the eyes of the public some devotional activity, but if there is no devotion in that offering, Krishna is not so pleased. But even if I offer something so insignificant, just like in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, when all the devotees were, when Mahaprabhu goes in different moods at different times, and at once he immediately went in the mood of the Supreme Lord and he was sitting on the altar with all the Shaligram Shilas on his lap. And he asked all the devotees to sing the Purusha Sukta prayers. Srivas Thakur and all the devotees were singing. And he asked all the devotees to come and start pouring water on him. So they were bringing thousands and thousands of pots of water pouring on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At that time, behind the scenes, there was a devotee named Duki. And she was not even in the picture. She was not even close to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She was way back, and all she was doing is helping carry the pots of water. Mahaprabhu didn't even see her. But Mahaprabhu gave her pure devotional service. So Krishna doesn't see how much service we do, what big service we do in the eyes of the public. Krishna sees only and only the devotion of the person. Nothing else. We may do big, big things in the eyes of the public, but if you don't have devotion, Krishna is not very pleased with that. This is the verdict of all our Shastra and the essence of all our Shastra that our Acharyas are teaching us. The great sage Dadiji said, just to hear from you about religious principles, I refuse to offer my body at your request. Now, although my body is extremely dear to me, I must give it up for your better purposes since I know that it will leave me today or tomorrow. Dadiji is not attached. We saw in the previous chapter that Dadiji, Krishna was, Lord Vishnu himself was telling that Dadiji is a very exalted personality. And another very interesting point, Krishna was telling in those verses that Dadiji's body is very strong because of his severe austerities. Something very interesting to ponder upon, right? See, Dadiji is not very old here. It's not like ripe old where he's at the fag end of his life and he's Okay, you just want my body, fine, take it. No. His body was so stout and strong. If nobody had come close to him to ask him for anything, he would have practiced his yoga practice for several thousands of years. But still, he was ready to give it up. We will see why. And this is the highlight of today's discussion. Prabhupada writes a brilliant purport. O demigods, one who has no compassion for humanity in its suffering and does not sacrifice his impermanent body for higher causes of religious principles or eternal glory is certainly pitied even by the immovable beings. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this regard, a very exalted example was set by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. Concerning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.34, Tyaktva sudushtyaja surapeshta raja lakshmim dharmishta arya vachasa yadagat aranyam maya mrigam dayita epshitam anvadavad vande mahapurushate charanarvindam. We offer our respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of the Lord, who upon whom one should always meditate. He left his householder life, leaving aside his eternal consort, whom even the denizens of heaven adore. He went into the forest to deliver the fallen souls who are put into illusion by material energy. To accept sannyas means to commit civil suicide, but sannyas is compulsory, at least for every brahmana, every first class human being. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very young and beautiful wife and a very affectionate mother. Indeed, the affectionate dealings of his family members were so pleasing that even the devatas, demigods, could not expect such happiness at home. Nevertheless, for the deliverance of the fallen souls of the world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and left home when he was only 24 years old. He lived a very strict life as a sannyasi, refusing all bodily comforts. Srila Prabhupada is quoting the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we hear the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a grihastha and he was a great scholar in Navadvip as Nimai Pandit. He had such a loving family, Shachi Mata and Vishnupriya Devi. But after he met his spiritual master in Gaya and took instructions from him and got initiated by him, his goal in life was changed 180. I mean, he's Supreme Lord, but he's teaching that unless and until we approach a bona fide Guru, pure devotional service, the path to pure devotional service doesn't begin. Yes, we are all chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yes, everything acts. But unless and until we approach a bona fide Guru and accept and surrender our life to him, the path to pure devotion doesn't begin. And Mahaprabhu teaches by his life and example. And after surrendering to his Guru Ishwara Puri path, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains all this. And he asked him to chant the holy names constantly. This was the only instruction he got. That you are fool number one. Just simply chant. As soon as Mahaprabhu starts chanting, within a short span of time, he starts exhibiting love of God. But after coming back home, he is least interested in the routine activities that he was previously doing as Nimai Pandit. So, for a person who's genuinely loving Krishna, genuinely, not somebody like myself who's trying to pretend to be a devotee, no, who's genuinely loving Krishna will want to give that to others because they're really tasting the bliss of Krishna consciousness every moment, right? I'm really struggling to chant my 16 rounds, but people who are genuinely loving Krishna, you cannot cheat. They want to give that to others. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Jive Doya Nam Ruchi Sarva Dharma Sar. Sarva Dharma Sar. And Guru Maharaj explains that this is Sarva Dharma Sar. It is not Indian Doya, he was saying. It is not Indian Doya, American Doya, compassion to only certain. No, Sarva Dharma Sar. What is Sarva Dharma Sar? What is the essence of all Dharma? Really experiencing the pure nectar of chanting the holy names, Name Ruchi and Jive Doya. A person who's truly exhibiting the taste of chanting the holy names and experiencing Krishna in their life, they want to give it to others. That is a natural effect. If somebody is just chanting and not giving, that means we are not experiencing Krishna in our life. And Mahaprabhu is showing that in his life example, that he was experiencing Krishna and feeling separation from Krishna. And he wanted to give that experience to the fallen souls of this world. And what did he do? He gave the most dearest thing in his life, his family. This is the compassion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He could have just stayed as a Grihastha. There are several reasons why Mahaprabhu took sannyas, but with respect to today's understanding and the purport that Srila Prabhupada is writing, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that just to claim the fallen souls, conditioned souls like myself, Mahaprabhu left his most dear wife, most chaste wife, Vishnupriya Devi, and his most dear mother, Shachi Mata. And he took sannyas. He could have just stayed as a Grihastha and he could have preached, but he didn't. Similarly, his disciples, the six Goswamis, were ministers who held exalted positions in a society, but they also left everything to join the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The six Goswamis also left everything. They were ministers, chief ministers. The government of Nawab Hussain Shah, they had so much wealth. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. So much gold and wealth that they had. But what does Srila Srinivas Acharya explain? Sing in his Shadgoswami Ashtakam. Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati shrenim sada tuchavad bhutvadina ganesha kau karunaya kaupina kanta shritau. Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati shrenim sada tuchavad. They just gave up their wealth as though it means nothing to them. Because once a person really gets the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nothing, one who truly loves Krishna will not be attracted by this world anymore. This is the test to really approach an advanced pure devotee or a Mahabhagavat devotee in this world. This is the test. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he met his Guru Maharaj, Srila Gauru Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, someone asked, why you chose him? Why not anybody else? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he said that out of 24 hours a day, I didn't find him waste even 1 second not serving Krishna. This is the sign of advanced Mahabhagavat. I should not say advanced Mahabhagavat devotee. They are not so much interested in this world anymore. They want to serve Krishna 24 hours a day. And this is what Prabhupada wants all of the members of the Krishna consciousness movement to eventually come to, because this is what he explains in the Nectar of Instruction. That even Srila Rupa Goswami explains that 24 hours a day, we need to be chanting the holy names and remembering Krishna. In the 7th verse of the Nectar of Instruction. 7th or the 8th verse. These Goswamis left their very comfortable lives as ministers, zamindars and learned scholars and joined Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement just to show mercy to the fallen souls of the world. Accepting very humble lives as mendicants, wearing no more than loincloths and torn quilts, they lived in Vrindavan and followed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order to excavate Vrindavan's lost glories. Similarly, everyone else with a materially comfortable condition in this world should join the Krishna consciousness movement to elevate the fallen soul. So what Srila Prabhupada is telling us is, we don't have to imitate the Goswamis. We cannot. If we try, our life is ruined, finished. We cannot imitate the 6 Goswamis. All Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas is telling us, let us join the Krishna consciousness movement and try to contribute to our capacity. The words Bhutva Dayaya, Maya Mrigam Dayate Pshitam, and Dina Ganeshakau Karunaya all convey the same essence, Prabhupada is telling. These are very significant words for those interested in elevating human society to a proper understanding of life. One should join the Krishna consciousness movement following the examples of such great personalities as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the six Goswamis, and before them the great Dadichi. See, this is something. See, when Prabhupada uses some words, it is very important for us to pay attention because we cannot follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis. Before them, the great Dadichi. See, Prabhupada is telling. And we'll see why. If one is happy to see the distress of other living beings and happy to see their happiness, his religious principles are appreciated as imperishable by exalted persons who are considered pious and benevolent. Srila Prabhupada is telling that we feel pain when someone disturbs us, and therefore we should not inflict pain upon other living beings. And Srila Prabhupada quotes that in certain religious sections where Jesus Christ said, "Do not kill," but still people are killing. That's hypocrisy. If you say something and act against that principle, that's hypocrisy. I'm not being straightforward. I'm not simple. One should be happy to see others happy. One should be unhappy to see others unhappy. Or Acharya explained, a true, genuine Vaishnav is para dukha dukhi. If somebody is really struggling, we cannot keep quiet, which is what exactly Krishna told, right? Because a genuine devotee will not want others to be entangled in this material world. They will want others also to be happy in Krishna consciousness. If somebody is struggling, we cannot just ignore that person and leave. Well, finally, whether that person really takes to what we are telling, that is up to the free will of that person. But a devotee will not want to keep quiet. We don't want to hurt that person, but we want to tell the truth. Because unless and until a person is trying to get closer to Krishna, we cannot be happy in this world. Right? And Prabhupada says that one should be compassionate to all living entities. Jive doya. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jive doya. All living entities, not just a certain section of people. Because Krishna loves everyone. Prabhupada is quoting in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and I am the seed-giving father. Because we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna loves everyone. So Prabhupada is saying, therefore, one should not favor only one kind of living being. That is why a very a pure devotee, the other day, respected His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Maharaj, he was telling in all his classes that a pure devotee wouldn't want to really hurt anybody. They would want to do good even to an animal. And Prabhupada says that the reason is the humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned, a gentle Brahmana, a cow and an elephant, a dog and a dog eater, all the same, equal vision. And Prabhupada is saying, one who's transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes joyful. And this is what Srila Prabhupada meant before following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis. We have to follow the footsteps of Dadichi. Well, this seems to be what is Srila Prabhupada telling us? Our Acharyas explained that before actually becoming truly Krishna conscious, we have to develop good character, which is something that we neglect. And this is what His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Maharaj gave in all of his classes. This is the essence in all of his classes. Yes, devotees are paradukha dukhi, but we have to strive to actually or pray to Krishna to give us those qualities of character. Because if I don't have those characters, and if I chant the holy names, it's not very pleasing to Krishna. Because devotion includes qualities. Of course, we are not endeavoring for those qualities alone. A devotee is endeavoring for pure bhakti, but Krishna gives those qualities to the devotees. We cannot acquire anything in this world. Nothing can be acquired by us, by our own strength. We cannot. But Krishna gives those qualities to the devotees to the extent we want to get closer to him. Yasya deve para bhaktir yata deve tata guru. That verse is there in the 5th canto, right? That for a devotee, all qualities come to that personality by the grace of Krishna. All the 26 qualities that is explained in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. But we have to strive and pray to Krishna to give those qualities. Why? Not so that I'm so popular in this community and people think that I'm a big devotee. No. In the eyes of Krishna, we need to please him in whatever activities we are doing. That is why Srila Prabhupada says, before approaching Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis, we need to develop these qualities. And only by developing these qualities, of which humility is the most important one, we can actually chant the holy name of Krishna with some feeling. This is what Queen Kunti also prays, right? Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribir Edamana Madapuman Naivahati Apidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Akinchana, we should feel helpless within our heart. With that Akinchana mood, one can really helplessly call out for Krishna. And that comes by endeavoring and striving and praying to Krishna. Krishna, please, I'm done with this. Please help me. Please help me to develop such qualities so that I can please you. I can please your devotees. I don't want to hurt anybody. With this mood, we can chant the holy names. I just wanted to end with this one example. Another lesson that we can learn from this pastime that my Guru Maharaj was telling is that Dadichi was not even known outside except for the Devatas, and when the Supreme Lord himself came and told the Devatas to go and approach Dadichi. Sometimes we never know who's a devotee. We never know who's a devotee. Devotee doesn't mean that, like myself, pretending to be a devotee, applying tilak and having kantimala and having dhoti kurta. No, that is not at all. That doesn't give a complete picture of a devotee. We cannot, he was telling, we cannot judge a book by a cover. Devotion actually is a property of our heart. And do I have the power to see the heart of other devotees? No. Unless and until somebody is a pure devotee, we cannot see other people's heart. So I cannot judge somebody else about their devotion, seeing their external actions. This is the main problem, at least with myself, is I judge people according to their external actions. Because I'm a conditioned soul. But everyone may be at different levels of devotion. We cannot judge by some external action. So my spiritual master was giving this example. This is just a mind none of us would have even heard. This is within Srila Prabhupada's movement. I'll finish with this example because it's something that we need to always have in mind. There was this personality named Peter Burwash. I forgot his last name. He was not an initiated devotee. He was a world-class tennis player. Please remember this at least. I don't remember the full name. I'll probably send the name and probably his article that was there on ISKCON news channel. This personality was a tennis player and he was living in the US. At one point, when he was traveling for his tennis tournaments along with his assistant, I think he was somewhere in Florida area or some area within the US, and he came to hear about the Hare Krishnas. And by nature, he was a very sober person. Well, to play sports, you need to be really passionate. But at heart, he was extremely sober. Very kind-hearted, very well-spoken personality. And he was very much intrigued to go and see the Hare Krishnas. So he goes, I think it's Gainesville maybe. I don't remember the place, but he goes to the place and he attends the Sunday feast and he loves it. And he loved the Sunday feast program. He loved the prasadam. And after that, he wanted to meet Srila Prabhupada. At one juncture, he meets Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada spent a lot of time with him. See, pure devotees can really see. This is what we were discussing, right? Pure devotees can really see the heart of any jiva, any living entity. We cannot. So Prabhupada instructed him. He was asking, should I just join the temple? Prabhupada said, no. You just be how you are. Chant the holy names, and whenever you get a chance, you try to speak the principles of Bhagavad Gita to whomever you meet. And this personality, whatever instructions that Srila Prabhupada gave to him in those few hours of time, he really took it to his heart. And wherever he went, he was a very popular tennis player, it seems, in those days, in the 70s. And once during a tournament where he was in the final, where he was going to win the tournament, this is the match point. Not for him, for the other person. And if he loses his point, game finished. And he was already chanting the holy names, etc., but not wearing tilak or kantimala, nothing. And all of us who are aware of the tennis rules, you have to stand in a proper position to take the serve from the opponent. And he was in the right position to take the serve from the opponent, to respond to the serve. And while he was standing, he saw few insects crawling over his legs. Not over his legs, on the ground, on the grass court. And while he was looking down, he saw these insects. He didn't pay attention to the person who was going to serve. He thought, if I don't pay attention to the insects, I might step over them. So while he was looking at the personality who's going to serve the ball, he moved so that he doesn't hurt the insects. And what happened? As expected, he missed the serve and he lost the tournament. My Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he says that I'm thinking I'm such a big devotee. He's talking to me. But look at this person, he's not initiated, he's not having tilak, he's not having kantimala. But he wants to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, who he just spent few hours with. And after that incident, after he lost the tournament, after he finished his career, he started traveling everywhere, giving management classes. And through those management classes, he was infusing the message of Bhagavad Gita to everyone for many years until he left this world. And Maharaj says every year he goes to Vrindavan along with his family. So the point that we can take from Dadiji's example is we need to strive to develop good character. And I'm sincerely praying to all the Vaishnavas that by your mercy that maybe I'll develop some particle and some dust of these such qualities that the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam is telling us to exemplify in our life. Because only with such qualities we can truly chant the holy names and please Krishna. I'll stop here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vamsi Wisdom Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare